Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to FOR Season 1 Round 2 here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Unfortunately, as you can see tonight, we have no Gio Maldonado, although he is racing as a stand-in tonight. He is not very well, so cannot commentate tonight. You do still have me, and it will still be a cracker nonetheless, so I hope you'll enjoy the race tonight. Just waiting for our first driver to go out on track. It looks like it is the Toro Rosso of RRJ Yeko. Good run on board with Toro Rosso, man. We'll get his lap data up ready. Taking it nice and cautious through the outlap, just getting a feel for the car. Whilst we have the two Toro Rossos on their outlaps, just going to take a quick run through the driver standings from round 1 at Australia. We have Irej in the Red Bull leading the way with 25 points, followed by Droftas in the Mercedes on 18. Jonathan Cox for Racing Point on 15, Dan Murphy in the Renault with 12 points, I Fisher's in the second Racing Point with 10 points. Then comes the two Toro Rossos of RRJ Yeko and this man Evil Hunter on 8 and 6 points respectively. We have TSR Parallax on 4 points for the Haas. We have Alian on 2 points for McLaren, and we have the two Williams on 1 point apiece. YBR and also Streeby, who claimed the fastest lap last time out at Australia. Gonna hop back on board with RRJ over in the meantime, so he's getting ready to start his first flying lap. As he makes his way now into turn 1, takes it right the way down to first gear to get the car turned in. Looks pretty smooth to me from the Toro Rosso driver. Makes me happy. Goes to a third, that one. They're quite low and medium speed corners around Bahrain, and there is quite a few curves around here as well which can throw drivers off, so they will want to be very careful. We've already got the first yellow flag out. I believe that's just drivers slowing down to create some space. Looks like it's a Mercedes. Oz Echo runs a little bit wide there at the hairpin. Very tricky corner to get right. You always run too wide or brush the curve, and it's very difficult to get the braking point right. May have cost him a few tenths there from having the optimum lap. Its way now through towards the final sector. That curve there on the right hand side is a very notorious curve, so he's going to want to be careful of that. Stays well clear of that and takes the corners quite nicely there. He's makes his way now down to the final corner, seems to get it pretty much bang on. Powering his way now towards line. What's it going to be for the first lap of the session? It's a 1:28.560, and that's put RJ on provisional pole. Jump ball with his teammate Evil Hunter, who's just making his way towards the final corner now. What is it going to be for the other Toro Rosso driver? Runs a little bit wide there, may cost him a little bit of time. It's a 1:28.2, so he actually goes quicker. Two Toro Rossos first out on the blocks. Who else we got? We have the Red Bull of Borussia also on his lap. Well, we have gone Alpha just about across the line, I believe, but looks like it was Amden starting his lap, so we'll stay on board with Borussia. Making his way now, final corner. What's it going to be? Can he topple any of the Toro Rosso drivers and put himself on the top of the standings? What's it going to be? Yes, it is, and he smashed it over 1:27.6. Great out from Borussia. And then TSR Parax slots in by with 1:27.9. Times are starting to come in thick and fast now. Got them series of Gio Maldonado just starting to look right on board with him. Fortunately, again, like I said, couldn't be after right now, but he'll look to see what he can do as a reserve for the Mercedes team tonight. He's made his way now through the first sector and gets on the brakes, turns in, very nicely done. Can he extend it out, straight himself up for the next? Looks pretty good to me. It's 28.5 in the first sector. Doesn't seem too bad, but I suspect you want to maybe try and see if you can shave a few tenths off that in future laps. Being out in the Taurus hairpin, he runs a little bit wide in entry and he's unfortunately invalidated that lap. That one will not count for the Mercedes driver. Dust himself off. Built a mark, goes into P5 or 128.890. Not bad, but you'll definitely look for some improvement there. What else got going on? We have Andange with a 29.2 on the hard. That's an interesting tyre to be on. Rival Stringer B stuck right behind the Ferrari driver of Glock. Flashback to Brazil for that one, but he's backed off away from the Ferrari driver. Let himself have his own preparation for his lap. I believe he's not been interested on it. I believe he may have been held. We'll jump on board with who else do we have on the lap? Seems like Glock's on a lap as well. See how the Ferrari driver goes. Unfortunately could not attend last week's race, but a lot of drivers have been quite worried about this man. He's certainly from the races I've seen him in, as he runs very wide on the straight ahead and then it goes off the track. But certainly from what I've seen, he's looked very, very good. Let's see if he can bring the pace that I know he has into the qualifying session, which I believe he can. Sets purple second sector as well to match. I think Brucha's going to want to be a little bit worried sitting at the top there, because I think he could be knocked off. Block meters in out into the final corner. What's it going to be? Is it going to be pole? Is it going to be P2? Where's it going to be? It says 127.295. That's a great lap. We knew it. Drivers were going to be worried about this man. He's very, very good on his day. As that is nothing to be sniffed at. Great lap from him. We have Alian on lap as well, and McLaren left right on board with him. The Stringer B was set to 146.2, so I believe that's a little bit of a struggle he had on that first line lap, but he'll certainly want to improve on that, and I'm sure he will. Seems to be going again as well. It's the two racing points coming out in tandem there. Impressive. Going to jump back on board with Alian now as a race. I was unfortunate on F1 fourth there. It's not even out the pits yet. He's making his way now through the final sector. It's a purple second sector for the McLaren driver. Are we going to see another change at the top? What's going to be? Is the McLaren driver, sorry, going to do it? What's going to be? And it's P4 with a 128.2. Not bad, just slots in ahead of Evil Hunter. We'll certainly want to improve on that one. See how we've got on that. We've got Stringer B, we'll go back on him. His first lap was slightly compromised there, but you'll certainly want to improve for the second one as he makes the way around now the final corner. Powers up to the line, gets race to activate DRS on the run to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 128.6 that puts him above Andange and into P8. Not bad. See us, we've got a lot of drivers on outlaps at the moment, but no one, I believe, on a fast lap. Who's going to be first set lap? Looks like it's going to be a Renault, is that? Yes, sorry, it's a Haas, a Serious Mushroom. Yeah, now through the first sector, activates the DRS onto the run to turn 2. Got a yellow flag on the first sector, one of that. We've got a driver off at the just before the sector 3 split. Drivers want to be mindful of that. We'll go back on. We'll stay focused on the house. He's got a Williams to Stringer B, who smartly gets out of the way. Nicely done from him. Got Serious Mushroom now makes his way toward the head, and can he get this one bang on? Looks pretty good to me. Seemed a lot more comfortable than some of the other drivers that have tried to take that corner. So make his way now up towards the final sector now. Turns it in, maybe doesn't run as close to the apex as much as possible and may lose him a few tenths. It's going to carry on though, powering down towards the final corner, and for the final straightaway can activate DRS on the run to the line. DRS activated. What's it going to be for the Haas driver? It's P9 with a 128.7 to slots in just behind Stringy B. Not bad. Who else we got? I've got I Fishers on lap, so right on board with a racing point. Looked very good last time out with Australia, certainly with his strategy, which is again, like was mentioned last time out, what this man's in for, but he does have the pace to match. Will he show that here? What's going to be? It's P4 for I Fishers with a 128.1. Not bad for him. We've also got Liam Shane there set at 142.6, so he will definitely look to improve. We have yellow flag, sector 1 and 3 is Gio Maldonado, hasn't violated his lap again, unfortunately. Going to run on board with Dan Murphy, he's on his first flying lap. So far as we are approaching the around the 6.5 minute mark left in this qualifying session, no one seems to have topped the Glock up to now. Seems to have been dominant in this session. Is this going to be a sign of things to come for the race? Dan Murphy now making his way through into sector 2. It's a personal best for a sector for Dan Murphy, so he may want to find himself going a little bit quicker and get himself up towards the top of the standings. As we have Lawrence going into P3. Wow, I didn't even realise that the other Ferrari driver was on lap. That was a seriously impressive time. Yeah, very good lap from the Ferrari driver. Slots himself into P3 just behind Bruce and Mate, and the Ferraris look very dominant. Dan Murphy now making his way around the final corner. What's it going to be for the Renault? Can he get himself up into the top of the table? It's P4 with a 127.6, knocks Parallax down to P5. One driver that may be looking over his shoulder a little bit is Liam Shane. He's very, very close to the drop zone at the minute. Another one will be Gio Maldonado, who's not set a lap yet, and F1 Fourth, who's just thought, that was a seat. Did I see a spinner there? Yes, I did. It was TSR Parallax. He's come undone there at the infamous spin curb at the sector 2 sector 3 split. Unfortunate there for the Haas driver there, and will not want to make a habit of that for the race. You know, going to ride aboard F1 Farfus. He's, I believe he is on his lap, however he's not using the ERS modes I was expecting. Just got a Ferrari and a Renault coming up towards the line now. Let's see what these guys are doing. Got Lawrence in the pits, and we have built a Matt just on lap, so we'll jump back on board with F1 Fourth and see if he's actually on a lap or if he's just getting a feel for the car. I believe it's the latter, but we shall see. Going to keep an eye on the McLaren though, who's coming around the final corner. I believe, yeah, he's come back to the pit lane. Got the racing point out as well of Jonathan Cox just coming around the final corner to start his lap. I Fishers, what's he doing? Is he on the lap? It looks like it. What's going to be for I Fishers? Is this going to be an improvement for the racing points? It is. It's 2 tenths fast length just behind Parallax, so he stays in P6, but within touching distance of a top 5 spot. Right, back on board with F1 Farf has just gone with 29.0. I believe that was a lap already set. On board with Gio Maldonado now as he's starting his next lap. What can the Welshman do? Can he push himself away from the drop zone into the top 10? So you have a yellow flag in sector 2 as well. I believe that's for Williams. Still on board with Gio. He's not known for his racing at the moment. He's more of a commentator kind of guy, but he has got skills in his locker. We have seen that many times in the past. Can he unlock some of those tonight and get himself up into the top 10? Oh, back end got a little bit squiggly there. Well held, but unfortunately that will definitely compromise his run. And with just around the 2:45 mark, you'll want to be getting a move on to see if you can get another lap in. Running over Jonathan Cox now, so he's just about to come across the line. Where's he going to put himself? P2 with a 1:27.5. Very good lap from John Cox, but I think given how competitive this man is, he'll be disappointed that's not P1, but this man has not been touched in the entire session. He's set one lap, 27.2, and bang, straight at the top he goes, where he's not been matched since. So what else do I want to do? We've got Serious Mushroom just starting up, we've got Stringy B on a lap, we're right on board with a Williams driver. Got Yellow Tide in sector 2 and 3, as drivers are coming towards their final runs now. Going to start getting tense for a few of these drivers. Want to get themselves up drops on his YBR's just on his outlap for his one and only run. Quite a brave call from YBR. I would want to have a few stabs at this. Certainly how competitive the field is. See on Bobby String being as he's making his way through the twisty bends of sector 2. Takes the apex very well there. How close will he dare get to this curb? Because I know it can't throw people off. He gets very, very close, but stays off it, which is very well done. Sets the purple second sector a match. I have to say the Williams driver is very good. It certainly doesn't match the real life car from last season, but he's definitely looking good tonight. Where's he going to put it? Is he going to move himself away from the drop zone and make him competitive for Q2? What's it going to be? He has not improved. That's an interesting one. I'm not sure what happened there, but for some reason he's slowed right down the end and not improved on his time. That's an interesting one. Still on ball RG. Yeah, it gets a little bit on the curb there. Unsettles the car slightly. Stringy B's got a 5 pace grid penalty. Stringy B with a collision with Liam Shane. Oh dearie me. Controversy here at Bahrain, and it's only in Q1. Stringy B with a 5 pace grid penalty, and that will demote him to the back of the grid. As Andench is retired, he's happy where he is. F1 far side, he thinks he's happy. One person that won't be is this man. He'll want to get himself higher up the grid. He's making his way now through sector 2. Turns in quite sharply, gets very close to the curb, takes some curb on the exit as well, turns in. Nicely done from the Toro Rosso. Clock's about to tick down to the end of the session. Fast left the session, and that is the end of Q1. These are the final laps of the drivers. Can RJ get himself away from the drop zone? No, he cannot. He does not improve. He's improved slightly. In fact, it's not enough to see him out of the drop zone. Stringy B, he's not going for another lap. Liam Shane is though. Is he going to get himself out the drop zone? What's it going to be? It's a 1:29.7. He has not made it out, unfortunately. Still on board with YBR now. Is he going to get himself away? Keep an eye on Serious Mushroom well, see if he can get himself there up. As can Dan Murphy, as they are still on laps as well. Going to focus on this man though, as he is the main one to watch. Can he get himself out the drop zone? Made his way now towards sector 3. Gets very close to the curb there. Takes a little bit less curb on the exit one already. As Serious Mushrooms retired. That is a pit lane retirement for him. He is obviously happy where he is. No improvement from Dan Murphy. Nothing from Serious Mushrooms. So this is the last time we're going to see, and it's YBR. Can he get himself off the foot of the table and into Q2? P15. Just jumped his teammate there. And that time does mark the end of qualifying. P1 is Glot, who again looks unstoppable, but close behind we have Jonathan Cox, Borussia, Andenge, Lawrence, Dan Murphy, Parallax, I Fisher, Built Matt, Allian, Serious Mushroom, Evil Hunter, F14, RJ Echo, YBR, and out into the drop zone. Stringy B, knocked out by his teammate, but also with a 5-player grid penalty, so he'll be starting at the back of the grid. Gio Malno just couldn't get a good lap, unfortunately. Same for Liam Shane. Those 3 drivers knocked out of Q1. So now look forward into Q2 here, and this will get very interesting, as this is where the strategy comes into play, as already we're seeing a couple of drivers with some interesting tyre selections. However, for Q2, whatever tyre you qualify on, if you get into the top 10 you are locked to those tyres for the start of the race. This is where drivers will start to get their thinking caps on. They will want to find out what is the best strategy for this race. So we already have a first driver going out. That looks to be a Haas. Close followed by a Racing Point, but someone's jumped. It's an Alfa Romeo of Andenge. Interestingly, he's gone out on the hards. Now, as for race strategy goes, seems like a good choice, but for someone who won last time out, sorry, it was not him, it was Irej, but my apologies for that one. However, for someone that will want to be competing at the top, he will. I'm not sure if the hards are the best tyre, but you never know, he may prove me wrong. Just open it, chat as well, have a little bit of catch there. Got Echo and Droftas in the chat, nice to see them. We've got George himself making an appearance in the chat tonight, saying Guan Tooney. I will do my best, my friend. Certainly not going to match your standards of commentary, but I will do my best. Got a Hungry Monkey in the chat as well with the same message. Thanks guys, really appreciate it. Got Andoja warm up for that, but meanwhile we will jump on the Renault of Dan Murphy, who was actually the first set of that and is not hanging around here, he's going straight with the sauce. Not hanging around as a round driver. He's not too focused on strategy teams unless he knows something we don't. He just wants to get through. And with it being Bahrain, the rain is pretty much non-existent here, so the drivers will have it easy enough to that. The rain will not appear for this race. Gonna hot ball with a round drives and makes way through the hairpin. Nicely done. One of the toughest corners on the entire calendar, in my opinion, just because of how off camber it is, and very difficult to get the braking point right, and also the turning point. Not an easy corner to get right, but Dan Murphy seemed to have mastered it there. Looking good from the Renault driver, I must say. I don't believe this is the best tyre for strategy purposes, but for someone who wants to get, if you want to get into Q2, this is Q3, sorry, as Parallax goes to P1 with a 1:28.692. Well, you want to get his Dan Murphy aborts that lap, so he's clearly not interested in being on the sauce. Who else we got on the lap? We have a racing point of Jonathan Cox with 1:28.3. We have an Alfa Romeo of Andenge, I believe, about to finish his lap. What's he going to set? It's a 1:29.7. That's possibly the difference in pace between the mediums and hards, so I suspect Andenge will go on a faster tyre. We have Toro Rosso Evil Hunter come through on a 29.8, also on the hards. It's good for strategy, but I don't believe this is the right type. To be honest, Serious Mushroom goes into P3 with a 128.895. Not bad from the Haas. As we have built a Maton pool with a 127.8 on the Sauce. Good luck from him, but again, like we were referring to, for strategy wise, I'm not too sure if that's the best choice. Who we got next finish? Right, we've got Echo going, so next person to finish that will be Borussia and the Red Bull, so we'll stay on board with him. Apologies about the noise in the background, ladies and gentlemen, as Borussia is about to come across the line now for a 127.9 who puts himself into P2. Good luck from the Red Bull driver. So we also have... who's that finishing a lap just then? Oh, that was a driver pit. Who's next finished lap? It looks like we have an Alfa Romeo. I believe that's Andenjon's way around. Yes, it is. He's on his way back to the pit, so. We have a Racing Point as well of Jonathan Cox. He'll be making his way back to the pit, stuck by an Evil Hunter. Who do we have on a lap? We have RJ Echo on a lap, so we're right on board with him. Can Toro Man produce a good lap here on those mediums? So he is thinking about the strategy as well as his qualifying position for getting through to Q3. Will it pay off? We shall soon see. Made his way now up towards the sector 3 split. Doesn't get as close to the curb this time. Still takes plenty of curb on the exit, which may help him for straightening the car and getting better traction. He's made his way now into the final corner. Gets very close to the curb there. Puts the power down. Activates DRS. Comes up to the line. And it is a 128.2. Good luck from Echo there. That puts himself into P3. Just a little bit ahead of Jonathan Cox in the Racing Point. Speaking of the Racing Point, Fishers is on a lap, so we'll see how he gets on. He's gone for the Sauce, so he's elected for straight out speed here to get through. He's not focused on strategy, although I suspect he will have something planned for the race if there is a safety car at all during the race, which, as is the case in league racing, you never ever know. Anything can happen, even in qualifying, as we saw with Stringy B earlier on, who unfortunately picked up a 5th place grid penalty, so will be from the back, so he will start to have to come up with a good strategy there to get through. Yellow 2 sector flags, but we'll ignore those as Fishers comes around the final corner now, puts the power down, activates the DRS. What's going to be? It's pole position for Fishers. Good luck for him. Is 127.6 and puts himself on P1. Is anyone going to challenge that? Who do we have out on track? We have Alian just making his way now through the final corner. What's he going to do? Is he going to topple Fishers? No, he is not, but it is P6 with 128.6. Not bad from Alian. Good luck, but I think you'll want to improve with that one. You have Dan Murphy just starting his lap, so right on board with the Renault driver. He's moving now down towards turn 2. Turns and takes a wider line there. I would seen it turning quite late, which if it was me personally I would have turned in a little bit early, but if it finds himself some extra time, then go for it. He's making his way now to the very tricky hairpin. Seems to have that nailed. A lot of these drivers starting to get used to the track now and understand how it works, as I just see the Renault driver again taking quite a wide line and then running off track. I'm not sure what that is, but I've seen quite a few drivers doing that. He makes his way now towards sector 3 split, and it's a purple set in sector 4, the Renault driver. Got Dan Murphy now made his way around the final corner to finish his first flying lap. And it is P4 for the Renault. P4, 128.222 there. Not bad from him. We also have Glock on a lap, who has invalidated that. So, not sure what's happened to him there. Got Lawrence on his out lap. Got Andenge on a lap, I believe, who is 7.5 tenths up on his lap. Wasn't the quickest lap possible from Andenge, but he seems to be looking a little bit on this one. What's it going to be? It's a 28.830 there, so it's not bad from him, but he wouldn't want to do too many laps on those hards. Maximise the potential that they have for the race, but not bad from him. He's jumped from P10 to P9, put Serious Mushroom down onto the cusp of the drop zone, and puts Evil Hunter remains in P11 with F1 4 for YBR, and the two Ferraris are Lawrence and Glock yet to set laps. Got Jonathan Cox now coming around the final corner. I believe he's on lap, so we'll see what the Racing Point does as he makes way now across the line. And what's going to be? It's P5, so he's in no one to just jump position. Marginally faster than RG8, but it's just enough to see him jump from P6 to P5. Not bad from him. Got top three still in the pits there, happy with his. Dan Murphy's run out of fuel. Who else do we have on lap? Parallax is not on a lap by the looks of it. Actually, he may well be. Still on board with a Haas driver. Got a Renault just coming around the final corner as well. I believe that is Dan Murphy. Let's have a look. And it is. He's on his way back to the pits. Hop back on board with Parallax now. Purple second sector from the Haas driver. Can he get himself challenging the front runners? Makes his way around the final corner, knocks down to third gear on the exit, winds the car back up, increases the ERS, puts the ERS on. What's it going to be? It's P7. P7 for Parallax, 128.4. Not bad. We have Lawrence on that right above with the Ferrari driver. It's made its way now through the second sector. Looks pretty tidy from the Ferrari driver. He's another one that's opted for the hards. Interesting tyre choice. Not sure about the pace. A Serious Mushroom's retired. That looks like it is a pit lane retirement, so he must be committing to the medium strategy, but I don't think that will see him through to Q3 with drivers still yet to set laps. One of which being this man who's about to finish his lap now. It's P11. P11 for Lawrence with 128.9. He will want to improve on that. Change in tyre compound, I believe, needed there. At the moment, not a lot going on track actually. Pretty quiet. Only have Evil Hunter, YBR, and Glock out on laps. So whilst that is going on, I can update you on the constructor standings from round one. It's currently tied at the top with Racing Point and Red Bull on 25 points apiece. Then comes Mercedes on 18, Toro Rosso on 14, Renault on 12, Haas on 4, McLaren on 2, Williams on 2, and Ferrari and Alfa Romeo yet to score. Certainly very tight at the top of the tree as it stands. Got a few more drivers preparing for outlaps as there is 1 minute 40 left, so as my old buddy Gio Malone was saying, I'm sure I'll be proud of this one watching this back. Squeaky bum time, everyone. Who's going to get through? Who's going to be knocked out? Got Glock on a lap, YBR on a lap, we have Evil Hunter on an outlap, and Denge on an outlap, and Jonathan Cox on an outlap. Got many drivers wind up for the final few laps here. We're going to ride on board with Glock, who set the fastest time in the first session. Can he replicate that here? Again, looking tidy from the Ferrari driver. Purple first sector and match. Can he continue for the rest of the lap and get himself towards the top of the stands again? knocking off I Fishers there, who's already retired, so he's happy where he is, and I don't blame him. One driver that could potentially in danger is Alian. He's not come out of the pits yet, and since there is only just over 30 seconds to go, he'll not have time to set another lap, so he may be in danger of getting knocked out here. F1 Force, another. He's not come out of the pits at all this session. Got Glock now making his way down straight towards the final corner. What's it going to be? Turns in, takes quite a bit of curve there, puts power down, switches on the ARS, goes maximum attack towards the line. It's pole, provisional pole for Glock with 1:27.5, and the flag has dropped. These are the final times being set. YBR has pitted, so he will be out. Farf is out, Lawrence is out as well, and Denjon outlap, but he has run out of time as well. And I saw Alian as well there leaving the session, but he is safe, you'll be pleased to know. Jonathan Cox on a lap. He is definitely safe, but he just wants to go again. This will be the final lap as well. Jonathan Cox now made his way into the hairpin. Turns on DRS. Alian has rejoined the session. Good to see him back with us. Be pleased to see that he's through into Q3 as well, but we'll stay on board with Jonathan. Makes his way now down the straight towards the final corner. What's it going to be for the race, mate, as he pits? He abandons that lap. So I believe that is it. We're just waiting for Glock to come back across the line to finish that. Just putting that in place to signal the end of the second qualifying session. Glock's now retired in the pits as well. So that signals the end of Q2 there, and on the top of the timing sheets is again Glock in the Ferrari 1:27.5 on the mediums as well. A great lap from him. I Fisher and built a mat on Sauce P2 and P3, and Denge P4 mediums, Borussia P5, Dan Murphy P6, Jonathan Cox P7, Echo P8, Parallax P9, Alian P10, all of which on mediums. Knocked out of Q2, Evil Hunter, who went for a medium lap, Serious Mushroom, mediums. Lawrence, who went for the hards, may not have been the preferred tyre there, and unfortunately just about cost him there. And also YBR, who did not set a lap. Also F1 Farf is also out of the session as well. Yeah, then guys, into the final qualifying session. This is the business end of qualifying, as this will decide the final top 10, who will take pole and who will start alongside for a run at turn 1 and maybe some overtaking opportunities from the start. Already hearing engines going off. Ferrari guys are getting ready, but I don't believe they will be out first. Got a flurry drivers coming out there. We have a Racing Point, Haas, Renault and Ferrari all out. We have Dan Murphy, we have Jonathan Cox, we have TSR Parallax, and we also have Glock. All of which noticeably, which are to be expected here. Yep, every driver gone for the sauce to maximise the time. A little bit of a cluster coming out there. First person out though is Jonathan Cox in the racing point, not hanging around. Just wants to get his lap done and wait and see what happens. He makes his way now through the first sector, just taking it nice and easy at the moment. Track will start rubbering now, so the cars will get quicker and quicker, and this way we'll see some cracking lap times as Gio Maldonado's left the session. I hope he can get back in soon. Hopefully someone will be able to give him an invite back in. John Cox now made his way around the top of the straight there, preparing to start his lap. We'll put on his telemetry, see what it's saying as he turns his ARS up now to get ready. Gets a good exit there, right to start his lap. Makes way out in turn 1, looks very good there, takes a little bit of curb. You do want to take too much of that curb because it can really slow you down due to it being raised ever so slightly. Makes his way now through the rest of sector 1. It looks pretty tight so far. 27.9 sector 1. We'll soon see if that is good enough to compete at the very top. It's made it now into the hairpin. One of the trickiest, it's probably arguably the trickiest one, and seem to have that pretty much nailed on. It's made it now for a sector 2. Goes right alongside the curb, but crucially does not make any contact because that could send him spinning off there. Jonathan Clark is going to be the first of many to set his lap as a flurry of drivers on their outlap, on their flying lap, sorry. But a little bit wide at the final corner. Activated DRS, what's going to be, it starts off is a 27.7. We now have the Ferrari of Glock coming across the line, who smashes that with 26.9. Dan Murphy next with a 27.2. Borussia with a 27.4. Built a map with 27.8. RJ is going to be next. What's he going to say? It's going to be, it's 27.7 for RJ, just slots out of Jonathan Cox. Next driver to set lap will be Andenge, right on board with him. Teammates being out towards sector 3. Alfa Romeo driver made his way through now towards the final corner. Takes a little bit of extra curb there, seems to be struggling a little bit on the exit. Activates DRS, ran out of ARS. Adds P4 for him as well, 27.4. Allianz setting a 28.0 there. So after that first flurry of times, we still have yet to see Ice Fishers and TSR Parallax, who's on his outlap. Glock again the man to beat by quite a comfortable margin, followed by Dan Murphy, Borussia, and Denge, RJ Echo, Jonathan Cox, Built a Matt, and Alian. That was a right old flurry of times there, wasn't it? Very impressive stuff with this man leading the way yet again. Right on board with TSR Parallax now, as he's the only one on a flying lap. Let's see what the Haas track can do. He had some definitely a promising showing out in Australia last time out. Found himself battling with the best, but unfortunately strategy just unfortunately let him down. He slipped down the field, but still a respectable showing. He's definitely got the pace to challenge at the top. Still a young driver as well, definitely one for the future. Can he continue that reputation with a front row start, a pole position, goodness knows in league racing, could be anywhere. Still on bubble harsh side now, he's made away towards the final sector. He's looking pretty good, I must say. He's looking strong. Parallax now made his way towards the final corner. Just activated his DRS for a little bit of extra speed. Puts himself into P8 with 1:27.833 there, so not bad from the Haas driver. Who else do we have out on track at the moment? We have Glock and Brusha as well. Glock's obviously not content with being as far ahead as he is. He has let Brusha through though, so the Red Bull driver will be first to set his lap, so he'll stay on board with him. But definitely keep an eye on Glock, so he can somehow even eke out even more of an advantage to Dan Murphy. He's running very... I'm not sure what it is, but a lot of drivers seem to have been running nearly all four wheels off track then. Surely that should be an invalidation. Got Brusha starting his flying lap now, makes his way into turn 1, turns in down to first gear, gets the car rotated in nicely. His mate is now through sector 2 and up towards the hairpin. Will he get this nailed on, or will he have a little bit of difficulty? Still, Brusha is looking very smart there. Nicely done. Turns at DRS4, activates DRS as well, and again runs wide there. His mate is now down towards the final corner. Gets car turning very nicely. Doesn't take any curve on the exit. What's it going to be for the Red Bull? Can he find himself even quicker? Yes, he can. He's jumped down Murphy into P2. Good lap from the Red Bull driver. Glock goes faster, so even faster again with a 26.8. Impressive lap. We have I Fishers on his outlap as well. Drivers coming out now to set their final laps of the session. Fisher's made his way now through sector 1. Looks pretty good so far. Turns in there. Just makes a slight brush of the curve there. Takes it right away down to second gear. Made his way now up towards the fast left-hander. Brings it down to around 90 miles an hour. Winds the car back up towards the next corner, just after the sector 2, splitting into sector 3. Turns in, looks good. Now powers down towards the final corner. Slams on the brakes, turns in, takes it out to third gear around 80 miles an hour and powers out towards the line. Activates the DRS. What's going to be for the racing point? It is P5 or 127.515. Good luck from him. We have McLaren just coming across the line. That's Allian, I believe. Got Alfa Romeo there, and Denge. Nothing from him. Racing point of John Cox. Nothing from him. Got Reynolds, Matt just starting his lap. No improvement from Dan Murphy on that one either. Got Martinez, the flag has also dropped, so that is Glock and Borussia done for the session. Can anyone trouble them? Seems most likely to be Dan Murphy given his position, but never Cameron and Denge, I Fishers. Even Echo, who's still distant back, he could still topple Borussia, but has to put in a mighty lap. Got Echo now, mate his way through the final corner. What's it going to be? TSR Parallax hasn't gone into P4. Just behind Dan Murphy. Echo has not improved. And Denge is a 10th up on his time. Maybe troubling Parallax here. Got the McLaren of Allian as well. He's just about to come across the line. What's it going to be? It's P6 for Allian. Just out of I Fisher's jump back and ball. And Denge, is he going to improve? Yes, he has. It's P3. He jumps Dan Murphy as well. Then John Cox jumps him and goes into P3. Then Borussia jumps him and goes into P3. Sorry, it was Dan Murphy actually going to P2. Wow. Impressive stuff. Got I Fishers on an in lap. That is the end of qualifying. Wow. Late flurry there. Late flurry times there, but on top yet again is Glock. He's taking P1 every qualifying session tonight. Dominant start to his season for him, since unfortunately couldn't make it last week, but very dominant start there. Takes provisional pole to boot. So just to run through the final classification of Q3, it's Glock on pole with a 126.814. Good showing from him. In P2 we have Dan Murphy. Borussia P3 for Red Bull. P4 Racing Points, Jonathan Cox. P5 is Andengin Alfa Romeo. TSR Parallax P6.5. Allian P7 for McLaren. P8 is the other Racing Point of I Fishers. 9th is RJ Echo in the Taurus. And finally P10 is Built and Matt in the Renault. Just waiting for the drivers to finish flattening their strategy, and then we'll get underway for the formation lap. Just waiting for drivers now. The first set of strategy wheel underway for the formation lap. So we're on board with the Pulsar Glock. Looking so far so good. So just run you through the order and the tyres that drivers are on. So we have Glock through at Allianz, P1 to P7 on the mediums. Then we have iFish as in P8 on the soft, Echo P9 on the mediums, Built a Map P10 on the soft. Then comes the choices for those outside the top 10 who could go for any choice of tyre. We have Evil Hunter on the hards, Serious Mushroom, Lawrence of YBR on the mediums, Gio Maldonado on the soft, who I believe has not made it back into the session. Liam Shane on the mediums, Stringy B also on the mediums, and finally F1 Farf, who's also not made it to the session, on the softs. Still has just warming his tyres up. Definitely an interesting race. Drivers will certainly want to be careful on the opening few laps, certainly the first few corners, as turn 1 can get quite tight, certainly on the exit into turn 2 as well, and up racing towards turn 3, as the entry nexus is a little bit different, so drivers will get squeezed. There may be a few collisions, and maybe safety cars, virtual safety cars, too much. Got Glock there just formed back on the grid, ready for the start of the race. Just waiting for the last couple of drivers to form up on the grid. It is Stringy B who will be at the back for this one. Fortunately not sure under F1 Foff or Gio Maldonado, but unfortunately they are no longer in the session. Gio Maldonado is back with us. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, we are waiting for the 5 red lights to start, and the yellow lights, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights. Lights out and we're underway. It seems to be a good start for Glock, but Dan Murphy in hot pursuit as well. Drive shot into position now as they make their way into turn 1. Scott race on inside as Glock just about maintains P1. Oh, seems to have a little contact with back. Sorry, not Juman, is it Liam Shantz had a bit of contact. Drive seem to be clean, and the Glock still leads as John Cox and Denge battling away as well, and Denge staying in P4 there. As we've got a yellow flag in sector 1, someone drowned. It seems like YBR's had a little bit of a struggle there. Stringing up 4 places. iFishers and Parallax battling away. Parallax just hanging on to that position there. Echo just ahead as well. All got a racing point in the Haas, getting very close together there on this opening lap. So far so good for the drivers. Got away cleanly. Seems to have had no incidents up now, apart from I think YBR may have just took a little bit of a knock there. So far no changes for the top 3, and biggest movers being Echo from P9 to P6 and Stringy B from P17 right out to P14. Going to ride on board with Andej now as he seems to be right over that Bruchon. Maybe look to make a move into turn 1 with the slipstream. No DRS just yet. That isn't able to lap 3. He's going to have a look down the inside anyway. Makes a move. Bruchon maybe being a bit squeezed out there. Got enough racing room there. Andej makes his way up into P3. Bruchon's not finished yet though. He's got the DRS out. He's having a little look. Thinks better of it. Looks for the better line. Is he going to set himself up for a move elsewhere? Now he's going to hop back on board with Lawrence. Giuliano's left the session, so I believe he did not get into his car, unfortunately. YBR's in the pits as well. I believe that's from your front wing, but still on board with Lawrence now. He's all over the back of the Toro Rosso of Evil Hunter. Lawrence is not a man that likes to hang around here. He will want to get a move on and make his way through the field as quick as possible, allow himself to control his own race. Certainly not make a move down the straight. Maybe now he's following over the back of that gearbox, looking to make his move. It looks like he set himself up for a move into turn 1. Is he going to have a look to the inside at the final corner? I think you'll think better of it. Yes, he does. He gets very close to the gearbox of Evil Hunter. Glock leads the way into lap 3, and DRS is now enabled. It's not for Lawrence just yet, but it looks like he doesn't need it. As he looks up the inside, medium tyres proving fast on the hards. He has a look down the inside. Evil Hunter leaves room, and Lawrence goes, thank you very much, I will take that position. Up into P10 he goes. Now he can set up after Allianz got a yellow flag, got a virtual safety car out. YBR's retired. Our first driver's gone. It's YBR. He's lost it at the spin curb. So here's our first brief stoppage. Drivers have to yield to the delta time shown on their screens. It is a 40% reduction from racing speed, I believe. Drivers will have to adhere to that, otherwise they will find